Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between tall mountains, there lived a young man named Elias. He was strong, quick, and full of dreams. But there was one problem. Elias struggled to stay focused. Every morning, he would wake up with great energy, ready to chase his goals. But as the day went on, his excitement faded. He relied on motivation, that fleeting feeling of excitement, to push him forward. And when it disappeared, so did his progress. Elias wanted to become the greatest blacksmith in the land. He admired the skilled craftsmen who shaped metal into powerful tools and beautiful works of art. But every time he tried to practice, he found himself waiting for the right mood. Some days he felt inspired and worked for hours. Other days, he did nothing at all. Weeks passed, then months, and his skills barely improved. He grew frustrated. Why couldn't he stay consistent like the masters? One evening, an old traveler arrived in the village. He was a philosopher who had walked many roads and learned many lessons. The villagers gathered around him, eager for wisdom. Elias, desperate for answers, asked him, "How do the great masters stay so dedicated? How do they work even when they don't feel like it?" The old man smiled. "You are asking about the difference between motivation and discipline," he said. "Motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. Discipline is like the roots of a tree, steady and unshaken." He then told Elias a story. Long ago, in a distant kingdom, there was a legendary swordsmith named Kael. His blades were known to be the sharpest, the strongest, and the most beautiful. Many young apprentices came to him, hoping to learn his secrets. Kael accepted only the most determined. One day, a young man named Roran arrived, full of excitement. "Teach me, master," he said. "I will work harder than anyone." Kael agreed, but his training was not what Roran expected. Instead of forging swords right away, Kael made him perform the same basic task every single day, hammering a simple piece of metal over and over with perfect form. At first, Roran was eager, but after weeks of repetition he grew bored. "When will I make a real sword?" he complained. Kael replied, "A true master does not wait for inspiration. He shows up even when the work feels dull. Discipline is what separates the great from the ordinary." Roran didn't understand at first, but over time he realized the lesson. The daily repetition wasn't just about skill. It was about building the habit of showing up no matter what. After years of patient work, Roran became a master himself, not because he was always motivated, but because he had learned to rely on discipline. The old traveler looked at Elias. "Your dream is not impossible, but you must stop relying on motivation alone. Discipline is the bridge between goals and success." Elias took those words to heart. The next morning he woke up early, even though he didn't feel like it. He went to his workshop and practiced, even though his hands were tired. Some days were hard. Some days he wanted to quit. But he kept going, not because of excitement, but because he had made a decision to be disciplined. Months passed. His arms grew stronger. His precision improved. And one day he crafted his first perfect blade. The villagers marveled at his work. "How did you do it?" they asked. Elias smiled. "I stopped waiting to feel ready. I just showed up every day, no matter what." The lesson was clear. Motivation is a spark. It can ignite action, but it cannot sustain it. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning, even when the spark is gone. In life, we often wait for the right moment, the right mood, the right feeling. But the truth is, success does not come from waiting. It comes from doing. The greatest athletes, artists, and thinkers did not achieve greatness because they were always excited. They achieved it because they were disciplined. They showed up even when it was hard, even when they didn't want to. Discipline is the quiet force behind every great achievement. It is the choice to keep going when the path is difficult. It is the decision to act, regardless of how you feel. So if you have a dream, do not wait for motivation. Build discipline. Set a schedule and follow it. Work when you feel like it, and work when you don't. Because in the end, discipline will carry you further than motivation ever could. And remember, every master was once a beginner. The difference was not talent, not luck, but the willingness to show up day after day, no matter what. That is the power of discipline over motivation.